fought a great fight. I mean, I'm gonna put my analyst hat on too. I think it's the kind of fight that makes Danny better. I was what's up, Freddie? It's the kind of fight that I think Danny's gonna get better from. I guess I went from being a championship level fighter one time in my career to maybe just being the pesky guy that it's hard to look good against. You know, I feel like I can still compete, but you know, it's just this level of fighter. Maybe I'm just, you know, I come up short against. You know, so it's a tough decision to just keep going. You know, in my boxing career, I think as I was saying, I think it's the kind of fight that's going to make Danny better. I could see that I was having an annoying style, but Danny made little adjustments in there, and I'll tell you what he did. It was early on in the fight, you know, I was trying to win the jab war, and it was, you know, going back and forth. I felt like, you know, Danny had a slight advantage in the rounds, but I felt like I was in there, you know? I felt like I just couldn't get complete control of the fight. I felt like in moments I was grasping it, but then he'd take it back, you know, and that's a testament to his character and a testament to the championship level that he's on. There was a moment middle of the fight, I don't know what rounds, maybe 5 and 6 or around there, where I started realizing I had it missing and I didn't have to step back anymore. You know, like I remember telling myself, wow, I'm seeing everything right from where I'm standing, you know? Because early on, you know, he's a heavy puncher and I have to get his timing, so a lot of the things he threw, I would give ground. And I started realizing, like, around 5 or 6, I don't remember exactly, I just have to see the tape, but I started, like, making a miss right from where I was standing, you know, and sometimes we'd smother, end up chest to chest, and end up in a clinch, but I started thinking to myself, man, if I can keep doing this, I'm not going to waste any energy, you know, and I don't have to give ground. You know, maybe I can start backing him off my jab, you know, and that's what I was trying to do, and then Danny made a really good adjustment. He started jabbing at my shoulder and at my chest, but really well, and he did 2 things with that. For one, he disrupted my timing. Number 2, actually did a few things, maybe more than 2 things. One, he disrupted my timing. Number 2, made my jab shoulder really sore, so it made it harder to jab at him. And then number 3, I was trying to make him pay for jabbing with me, because you know they say you don't hook with a hooker, you jab with a jabber. So I said, you know what? If he's gonna jab with the jabber, I want to make him pay by coming over the top with counter right hands, you know? And I kind of expected him to try to jab with me at times in the fight, so we worked on some counter right hands in camp over the top of the jab, but what his hard jabs to the chest and shoulder did was it would rock back my momentum, because on a counter right hand, you're pulling your body weight back, and you're pulling it over the top of the jab. When I would pull back my body weight to try to counter over his jab was real heavy right here. So I couldn't bring back the momentum, because you basically change your momentum twice. You're going back and forward, you're rocking. So I would try to rock back, but his jab would hit me right here, and it was like, you know, I couldn't bring my momentum back forward over the top of the jab. So it was a really good adjustment. And what it did was it kept backing me up, and it gave him the command of the pace, the control of the fight again. Again, I mean, in spots, I felt like I still could grasp control, but just not enough to control the fight. And then he got me with a good shot, and it was probably the last round, probably right before they stopped it, maybe 20, 30 seconds before, an overhand right hit me in my ear, and it kind of messed up my eardrum a little bit. And from there, you know, it was, you know, he kind of built up to the stoppage. At first I was mad about the stoppage, but then in hindsight, you know, it was fine. You know, I'm not the 25-year-old kid that fought Cotto anymore, you know. That fight, no matter what the ref would have done, if he would have stopped that, I would have been pissed off. I would have always been pissed off. But at 34 years old, maybe I don't bite my teeth as much anymore. In the moment I do. I mean, again, in the moment I was mad, but when I think about it afterwards, you know, Arthur McCanty made a good stoppage. You know, props to the commission, to the inspectors in the corner, the doctor, and Arthur McCanty for doing a great job refereeing. And Danny Garcia is a good fighter. I think he's going to move on to good things. And like I said, I think it's the kind of fight that makes him better. You know, he was forced to think in there, forced to make some adjustments. I'm a pesky guy. I'm annoying in there to fight. But Danny stayed calm. He's got a lot of character. He didn't show any frustration, and he made the adjustments he needed to make. And I just want to give him props. And this is probably my last fight. I don't think I have it in me to get back to training camp and make weight. Man, you know, I mean, I made weight great this fight. Props to him already. He had me on a great diet. You know, I've always eaten healthy in camp, but you know, there's certain foods in even if they're healthy, they're not good for making weight at certain spots. And so Memo really taught me a lot. So props to him, but still a lot of work, man. you still gotta bite down and be disciplined and whatnot. You still gotta work hard in camp. You know, I don't think I want to start over. I'm gung ho. I gotta go 0 to 100. You know, I didn't come back on a tune-up. I had a tune-up scheduled in May. He's a decent fighter in Danny O'Connor, but I just wanted to jump right back in the big mix. Maybe in hindsight, maybe taking on a lesser fighter would have been good. Coming back, jumping right back in the mix with a Danny Garcia at the 16th month. Maybe it wasn't so smart, but you know what? I don't even regret it, man. I fought a great fighter tonight. I was happy to share the ring with a great fighter. I've shared the ring with many great fighters in my career. I've come up short sometimes, but if you look at the combined records of the guys that have beaten me in my career, you know, I didn't take any shortcuts, that's for sure. You know, I did this the hard way, and you know, maybe it accumulated more losses than certain other fighters, but the resume that I built up, and the guys that I fought and beat up, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a lot of guys that took this route. You know, sometimes it wasn't even my choice. I can't say it was always my choice to take on the toughest fights. Sometimes it was, like this time it was, but you know, sometimes I was in positions where I just had to take tough fights in tough spots. But you know, we made it happen in key points in my career. We just couldn't make it happen tonight. And you know, I thank you guys, you know, for covering my career. The last 14 years has been fun. It's been a fun ride. A lot of ups and downs, roller coaster. But if it has to end in Brooklyn, at least it ends at home. And not in Ukraine like so many of us thought 3 years ago. That would have been a messed up place to end it, you know? So it started in Brooklyn. If it ends in Brooklyn, I got no regrets. And I hope Team Garcia goes on to do great things. And I hope I go on to compensate for the hard punches. And Danny's power rate's up there pretty well. I mean, guys like Kodo was like freakish power. I mean, I didn't know whether to cry or get mad when he hit me, but Danny's got some solid strength, and you know, he's got some solid power, and he's not as wild as people think. I mean, he gets wild, but there's a thinking process behind his style. He's a smarter fighter than he gets credit for. It's a lot deeper than that, and the power is definitely, I'd say, not just above average, probably a little higher than that. You know, it's certainly respectable, and one of the better punchers.
Can we take 2 more questions?
Paulie, is it a good thing in a way to finish with a top class fighter like Danny Garcia when you know you've had great success as a ringside announcer, you've gotten great reviews, and you have a big future there? So if you're not going to be fighting those guys anymore, is this kind of the way to go out rather than waste your time with lesser guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. You know, I mean, I'm doing it regardless. But you know, I enjoy sharing the ring with top guys. I mean, when I beat Zab Judah in 2013, I had no clue that it would probably be my last win. So like you know, but I mean, if you just look at I've lost. I've lost 3 of my last 4 fights, but I haven't fought a single slouch there. You know what I mean? Even when I fought Zab, it's easy to say hindsight of 2020, he was finished, but I mean, he had just finished a tough fight with Garcia, where he had won all the late rounds, you know, and I dominated him. So, I mean, I'm 1-3 in my last 4, but man, it was like a murderer's row. You know what I mean? I'm constantly fighting top guys. So it's just, you get worn out. I mean, I enjoy sharing the ring with top guys. I love this kind of promotion. I love being a part of it. I'll always remember these memories. Life's about making memories, and I've gotten to make some cool memories in my life. Even if some of them were painful memories, it's still something to remember. And I've had a great team, and I thank my whole team for, you know, being a part of the ride. And you know, some of it was successful, some of it wasn't, but it was certainly a ride to remember.
Thank you.
Final question. All right.
If I step outside my body, I would analyze this fight like this. Danny fought a pesky fighter, a good entrance into the welterweight division because he's a non-puncher, and a fighter who can, a cutesy type of style that I have, can make you look bad, but he stayed calm, he stayed consistent with the plan, he didn't waver, which shows me a lot of character. And eventually, you know, he found a way to make it happen, which all champions do. You know, there's things to work on, of course, there's always things to work on, Sometimes he punches a little wide, but again, not everybody has those slick little moves inside that I have. You know, some guys are going to be more aggressive on the inside and may cope with some of those big shots. You know, like some of those shots are just missing me. I just feel whipping by me with some of the hooks or some of the overhand rights they threw. You know, so I'm like, you know, somebody else might get hit with those. You know, I'm pretty crafty inside. Maybe my offense isn't so great, but compared to some of the other guys he may fight, but defensively he's gonna find the target a lot easier with maybe certain other guys, you know. So I think it was a good, solid entrance into the welterweight division for Danny. I think it was a fight where he can learn because, you know, certainly a fight like this you have to show patience in getting to me. I'm not just gonna hand it to you, and he did that. And I think he'll get better from this, and you know, he'll work on the things he needs to work on. I certainly think he's an improving fighter, and he's a thinking fighter. And like I said, he doesn't get the credit for his thinking ability in there, whether it's him or his father. Like I said, they made certain little adjustments in there that kept me uncomfortable in key spots.
Thanks, bud.